Hi sexy guys, today we're doing a wee bit of Project Spark beta. I recorded this a while back and now I'm just in the video here now for you guys. I'm sorry that it took so long to get this video done. Like I've been doing my news daily now, as you noticed. But I got into the beta anyway, as you can see, and I thought I'd give it a retry. This video isn't really edited much, so you will be seeing me play about with bits and bobs, but we'll go through it together. I am thinking of probably doing a wee bit of a live stream of Project Spark, maybe sometime, maybe this week, but I just don't know just as yet. But what I think so far of Project Spark, it does seem to be pretty good. I haven't really had much time with it. Like I only got ready to play it about I think it must have been about an hour and a half. That's all I've got ready to play with it at the minute. Unfortunately, I haven't had much time. But hopefully I will get more time to play on it and I'll be able to give you a review. What I so far have played on it does seem like it really does have a lot of potential, and I could literally I think it will be the next big creative kind of gaming. It's as you people that are your PlayStation guys there that play Little Big Planet and stuff, you will know this here kind of came from the Big Planet, but it took the Big Planet to the next stage, kind of. But for all you people that are really interested in like game design, but just don't know how to learn the code, or haven't got the time to learn the code and stuff like that there, or you find the code too frustrating and stuff like that, this here game is a good idea to get your creative mind out there and get going properly. Now it does look like the game is going to be, as we know, it is free to play, but it does look like it's going to have microtransactions.
Here's something you won't want to miss.
I don't think I actually shown this video.
Let's get to it.
Microtransactions, but if you look up in the top right hand corner there, you can see a wee bit of microtransactions going on anyway. With the silver you unlock yourself, and it's the gold that you have to buy. What's that? Copper. I'm not too sure. Like I said, it's been a couple of weeks since I played it. Pretty much, well, it's not taking you through the tutorial here anyway. I'm just reading it, so it may take me a wee bit to get through the tutorial. And boys, dear, is my creative skills shit. I am absolutely crap at this, guy, so try not to judge what this ends up looking like. I may have done some things a wee bit over the top, but I got there. You really, I'm just still, when I go back to it, I need to still learn a lot about the game. There is, from what I was in there is loads of stuff, crazy stuff you can do. As you can see there, there's stuff that I haven't got. If you can see behind that green fucking thing, after I click it off here in a minute. You can see the icons of the silver and the copper. I'm just going to call it copper, guys. The copper pieces. You have to buy them. You haven't got anything unlocked. You can save up the copper pieces by doing certain daily events, or by doing certain daily or doing wee like events and stuff, so on. Or if you can't be asked waiting and stuff, because it could probably take weeks to unlock certain bits and bobs. You can buy obviously the copper and unlock it right then and there, but that's all up to you guys, and not, you know, when the game actually comes out. The game is released sometime this year. I can't for the life of me remember the date. I don't actually think we have a date right now for it. I don't think there is. I'll just double check here on Google while we talk about this anyway. Project Spark. What else? The game, like I said, is pretty freaking good, especially if you are into the creative side, or you have a very creative mind. This is a great place for you to come and to experiment, get all them ideas that you always had about, like, when I was younger. And I know loads of my friends that are even same, even some of them, even still now, I still think I could do a brilliant game if I had the time to even learn the code and then write it. But then at the same time, even if I was going to write a game, I'll still need a big team behind me to help get it done. Well, not really a big team, but like it's still a couple of guys. I know there is people out there that do one or two guys that end up making a game and stuff, but there's always some kind of team behind it. But this year doesn't request all the hard stuff of the game designs. Like you don't literally need to go fucking. Sorry for cursing if it annoys you guys. No, there isn't. I did for Project Spark. But yeah, you don't actually need to go out and get maybe like 10 people behind you to help you create the game. You don't need to go out and pay for all the classes that you need to learn code. You don't have to go out and pay for the programs to create games. You don't have to go out. You know, you just pay. I think it's gonna come out at something like £50, $60, somewhere along them lines. For Xbox One, I think PC, obviously PC would be a bit cheaper. It'll probably be about $40, £30, or £40, $50 along them lines. So, and it's only coming out on PC and Xbox One as well. As you can see here right now, it's teaching me how to set the code. This is the only bit so far I find out where it actually you have to code yourself. But even still, it's not, you know, fuck, X plus Y times T, JavaScript, friggin' C, C plus, all that crappy kind of code where it just wrecks your head. Like I have seen the code for C, C plus, and I think I've seen a bit of JavaScript, but I have seen C, C plus because I did try to teach myself it a few years back when I was actually interested in learning it. And boys, the code is just insane. It's something I don't think you could teach yourself. You definitely would need help learning it. Well, you probably could teach yourself, to be honest. It just will take a very, very long time. Is what I mean by, like, I'm not saying no one's going to be able not to learn it themselves. But you definitely, JavaScript, a lot of people do say is the best place to start it if you want to do proper coding. I don't know why I keep talking about coding, but frig me. This here game, anyway, like I said, I probably said, I don't even know how many times I said it now. It cuts all that crap out, all the hassle, all the problems, and you can just go straight into your creative mindset and start creating a level. I don't think you can do multiple levels yet anyway. You might be able to later on, but right now you only can do one level. And create that level that you've always had in your head, and get it created out there finally. Like I've said earlier, I think I interrupted myself, I can't mind now. Like there's just so much to talk about. About when I was younger with my friends. We've always had great ideas for games and stuff, but we were young, obviously we're still in high school. And the only code back then that any of us knew, well, most of me and my friends, was HTML. Look at the goofy smile on that guy's face. But now you've got all these. But like I was saying, we had great ideas, but we just didn't have the know-how to do it. Especially because me and my friends actually sat one day and designed a couple of great stories and stuff for games.
Yes, I forgot to
And we were planning to take the story, the whole design, everything that we designed ourselves, because one of my friends he was brand of Photoshop, but it wasn't Photoshop back then, it was actually Fireworks. He was using, if any of us know of Fireworks, you probably know of it back then anyway. He was using that back then. He was creating all the stuff for us, like he was trying to design the, we were actually making an action third person shooter. Something probably along the lines of Gears of War. Actually, that's the only one that comes to my head right now. That actually is. I just loaded it there. I just can't think right now. Or even Tomb Raider or something like that. There, like was the plans that we're looking to go along the lines of. I'm not going to give it too many details of this here because someday we do learn the code and we do decide to take the game forward. Even though I know it's years ago we just wrote this here, but we've actually still got the wee file and all that we wrote the game in, and it's sitting there. Actually, it's probably got loads of dust on it and sits somewhere in my attic. But we started this game anyway, and we would have loved it. Our plan was to try and get a publisher or a game developer back then, but back then we didn't really know many publishers and game developers and stuff like that there. I think back then the only ones we really knew off was Ubisoft and EA, but the EA were more of a publisher. They didn't, well, to us they were more of a publisher than they were a game designer. I think they still actually are more of a publisher because I don't think they've actually designed anything properly. Like Battlefield, it's done by DICE, and their new game Titanfall, it's been done by Respawn, which is the former members of Call of Duty. But like this, we were planning anyway to go do it there, and then we came to the realization is it's only a dream. It's never really going to happen, kind of thing. And even though we have maybe about 1,000 pages of this game that we had designed in our heads with pictures and stuff, we weren't taking it to somebody to code and get developed into a proper game anyway. It really slow chance that it would actually, some company would actually take it on anyway, especially since we're all like 15, 16 at the time, and no one's really going to turn around to a 15, 16-year-old goes, that's a brilliant game, come on. Well, it can happen, like I'm not saying it's impossible, like, but for us, especially since we live in Ireland, like our closest game developer is Rockstar, and they're over in England. As you can see, my creative skills are just pure awesome. Sorry if my cigarette went out. Fucking later. But we gave up on it anyway and came to the realization obviously it was never going to happen. But this here, we could end up taking that big file out of the attic, maybe someday dig it out and actually try and put that game into realization now for this game here, Project Spark. Obviously we probably won't get it to the exact way we had it written in the thing and stuff, and you may not get the exact level design and the exact stuff that you have pictured in your head and stuff for it, but at the same time it's still letting you at least explore what you could do, and maybe, just maybe, game developers will end up watching this for content ideas, hopefully without stealing them, will then come to you and maybe get you to cooperate with them to end up making your game to the full tent. I do remember reading a story a few months back. I will try and dig it up after this here, after I get this video done and stuff and upload it to the YouTube obviously, and I'll try and put the article into the description. It was an article about game developers actually looking into Project Spark for new employees to take on to help design games. Obviously they probably won't be taking you on for the coding and stuff because of the way Project Spark is, but they could maybe take you on for creative design, like you could do the concept art or give them ideas on what it should look like, stuff like that there, or even storytelling, writer. I do remember now I did say about the writers, I myself will be more of a writer, believe it or not. But this was something I was reading and I got really interested in it, because it would, if this here does take off as big as I'm hoping it does, I know the game is got a lot of hope behind it anyway. But if this game does take off pretty big, it would be awesome. And just to see the ideas that people come up with. Just I'm really interested. I just can't. It's hard for me to put in words how really vastly interested I am in this here, because over the last couple of years, most of you gamers probably already noticed it probably yourself anyway. Games haven't been great. They've been kind of not slagging off any game developers really. I don't know if it's really their fault at the same time or not, but that's why I vote for DMR. I know a lot of people out there who's watching this video now disagree with that, but I voted for DMR because it was a chance to save the game industry. Because if you looked at the games that came out the last couple of years, they were shit. Microsoft and even Sony, even though Sony didn't reveal it, they tried to hide it and take it out. But at the same time, I can't blame them for doing that, because that was probably the smartest idea. Because after everyone's reaction to Microsoft's version of it, Microsoft really messed up. If they probably did the PR better, it might have took off a lot better and would have been better for us gamers in the long run. But eventually, I'm hoping it does come back to both consoles, because I know a lot of people aren't going to like the DMR, but you will get used to it. And if you think about it, we've had DMR for pretty much years. We just maybe not been as noticeable. Like Steam, for you PC gamers out there, Steam is just pure DMR, as you know anyway. When you buy games of digital, any game you buy of digitally marketed anyway, is DMR. But Microsoft and I think Sony, I don't know much about Sony's DMR, because obviously they kept it a secret after the reactions to Microsoft's DMR. But I think Sony were probably going to do something along the same lines of what Microsoft had planned. As you can see, my awesome creative skills here are just pure insane. I hope like this level here, guys, it's going to be #1 in the world. It's going to be the #1 game. Apart from my game being totally awesome that I'm designing right now for you all to play on. Actually, I don't even think I published this, to be honest. I still need, like I said, I still need to learn how to design. But the DMR is a brilliant idea, and you can disagree with me all you want on it. But someday you will come to the realization that it will be a good outcome, because if you look over the last few years, game developers are scared to lose the money on the game that they're designing, so they don't spend as much time and money on the game, and then the game comes out a wee bit shitty. I could say worse things with the game. I was showing you buy credits and stuff that you can actually buy. The games came out crappy there, and there was really, over the last couple of years, there wasn't really any games really that stood out. Even still now, there isn't many big awesome games coming out. Like probably games that are coming out that are pretty good in my head would be Titanfall. Looks really interesting. Obviously Project Spark has piqued my interest. The Order for the PS4, it's piqued my interest as well. It does look very interesting. The Division looks insane, but then again, I've always been a big fan of Ubisoft and everything they pretty much ever done. We smile the face, whee! But everything pretty much Ubisoft has ever done, really, to be honest, it's always impressed me. Like, if you've probably read the story, but probably it was a few months back as well, they were talking about the Rainbow Six, that they didn't like it, and instead of going, hey guys, take the game, we didn't like it, but frig it, we just gonna have it. Like most companies would actually do, like Call of Duty. They make Call of Duty and they finally finish it, and then they start playing about it and be like, oh, this game was awful, oh, let's change a couple of things and then release it. They won't. But what Ubisoft done with Rainbow Six were like, this game is awful, guys. In our heads, I know the game public may have loved it. We don't know, but they were so close to finishing it, and they were literally testing bits and bobs and getting it ready for to announce the release stuff and all that. There, that they didn't even like it, and they decided to scrap it completely, bin everything about the game, and just remake it completely. So everything that we may know about Rainbow Six to come may not even be in the game. All the different endings may not even be there, and so on and so forth. The game may not even be even close to what it was going to be. But that's what I also respect about Ubisoft. Like I would have to say, if I'm a fanboy in anything, it would be Ubisoft, full time. But it's not even fanboyish; it's more respect, because they do have respect for the gamers. They have done some horrible games, I have to say. I just can't think of any that they've actually done in my head. But to me, the only one I don't like Assassin's Creed. A lot of my friends find it really hard to believe and stuff that Assassin's Creed to me is crap, and I never bothered with. I think the last one I played was Brotherhood. I never got the one after Brotherhood. I think it was called Evolutionz, and I didn't bother with 3, and I didn't bother with 4. Assassin's Creed to me, the whole Nero, not Nero, freak me, I'm thinking Devil May Cry. The whole I forget his name. Your guy in the second Assassin's Creed, anyway, I forget his name. Friggin' it's gone in my head. Ezio. They kind of dragged his story out a wee bit too long, because there were so many side games for him. There was so much DLC and stuff like that there. It bugged me, and I kind of just lost interest in Assassin's Creed. When the first Assassin's Creed came out, I did enjoy it a bit, but it was never great. It never really jumped at me. I just couldn't get into it. But then obviously they had Rainbow Six anyway, and they have Ghost Recon. Now they have the Division and the Crew, and pretty much very big games that really interesting. I don't even know how the heck I got onto this subject of this here, but anyway, back to the game. This is pretty much what my level ended up being like when I actually finished it, and as you can see, guys, it's not great. Like, seriously, you're going to get bored within 2 minutes of playing it. Actually, I'd be surprised if you played it for 2 minutes. If you played it for more than 20 seconds, you would have. I would be surprised, but obviously I didn't save it and publish it anyway. But now, like, I do recommend, guys, if you can get into the beta Project Spark, get into it. Play by what it is. Definitely a game that is worth getting into. As far as I can mind, you don't have to buy it. No, you do have to buy it, I think. I can't mind. See, this thing confuses me, because I do remember reading 2 different stories. One, that you do have to buy the game, but one, it's also free to play.
What better way to be inspired than to see what's possible?
And the one that says it's free to play, you don't have to buy the game itself. You just after you get the game for free, download it, whatever, you play away. But I can almost swear that was only rumored, and you actually have to buy it. I think I even said the prices earlier. I think it's like £40 or £50 UK and $60 US or something along that lines. I'm sorry, my commentary may be a wee bit all over the place today. Exhausted, and I've had a really I had a really rough weekend. I was out partying with a lot of my mates and stuff, and well, the party got a wee bit rough, and I'm still not suffering from a hangover, and just suffering-ish. Well, okay, maybe it is a bit of a hangover still, but anyway, as you can see, I did try this guy's level out. I thought this is one that he actually made himself completely, but it actually turns out it wasn't. I didn't, because you can actually there's a mode there. I think it's I can't remember the name of the mode now. but there's a mode there anyway. It builds the level for you, but you make all the choices and decisions and stuff about it, like how you want the quest to go, how big of the level do you want, how do you want it night, day, so on and so forth. Like obviously right now in the beta it's very very restricted, and there isn't a lot of choices and a lot of stuff you can really play about with. But there's enough to play about with to keep you entertained for maybe a couple of days and experiment and get you going. But this is one of the levels anyway that was created for that kind of system where it was already created for him, but he made all the decisions. And well, even though you after the game is created and stuff and all, as long as you don't publish it, you can go back and edit it in the mode you saw me in earlier in the tutorial. Because I did do one of these levels and I went back and edited it up in that kind of editor you saw earlier in the tutorial. But yeah, you can do that there as well. But for the people that are more free roam, you can obviously create the kind of levels in that you saw earlier in the tutorial kind of thing. Right now, Project Spark, from what I have played, like I said, I haven't played much of it, but like I have said, it is a really interesting game to me. Because I've actually played, like I said, I would like to go on now, actually maybe even after I do this video I might even go play a wee bit more Project Spark. I don't really recommend, I was trying to use the Xbox 360 controller, as you can see I'm playing with the 360 controller right now. As you can see I have even options to edit his level and stuff and then publish it as my own. As you can see, I'm making sure my invert's on. Yes, I play inverted. See me. So what? It makes more sense logically in my head. I can't even remember what I was saying. Wow, I'm really all over the place today, guys. I'm so sorry. But I'm really interested to see what all the people have to say in this here. Not even just so much now, but when the game gets fully released, and about say 6 months after the game is fully released, like it is released this year but there is no release date for it just as yet, but this beta is meant to go on to the release date anyway, so they can literally release the game anytime they want, because the game is pretty close to being finished, I would say, especially since from what I've seen in the beta, like it has restricted a good lot of stuff. There's even I spent maybe like 10-15 minutes trying to even break some stuff just to see if I can report a bug or anything, but there was literally no bug I could find at the time. But there probably is a lot of bugs, because obviously it's still beta, so there's bugs somewhere, I just couldn't find them. Like you can make the level as big and as long as you want, which is great. You get options in what way you want the quest to go. As you can see, this guy was looking meat for the well, to clean the well or something. Mine was an apple for a tree to bring it back to life. Now that was the only option I had at the time, but I hope there is other different options and stuff that you can set up. I say if you're probably more in the freedom, the free mode kind of creator, you have way more options, and you'll be able to create the game. Plus, when the game is fully released, you obviously should hopefully have more and a lot more options. The game even looks like, if you can see here now, I'm hoping I can render this here in the full 1080p that I was recording it in. But if not, I do apologize for that. But if you can see it the way I see it, obviously because the YouTube anyway bitrate and stuff, I'll probably lose quality somewhere. But the game does look brilliant. It does, in my head, reminds me a bit of Fable. Actually, it reminds me a lot of Fable. So if you, I know Fable 2 and 3 didn't do too well. Not as well, obviously, as the first one. The first one was, even to me, the first one is even still the best. But I still loved number 2 and I loved number 3, even though a lot of people didn't like them. I thought it was brilliant. But does remind me a bit of Fable, but only obviously you're creating the story, you're creating the level, you're creating the design, you're creating all that, which is sorry, I got my throat. Which is brilliant. As you're seeing in a minute anyway, I have to finish this level. You get to rate it, you get to do all that there crap and stuff if you want. As you can see there, I was picking up weapons and stuff. The person, he can design it whatever the way they really want to. Like, they can design what weapons that are a Fable there. They could even give you the choice to give you an overpower weapon or a weapon that will gimp you, but you have to use it to kill a certain boss and stuff like that. Like I said, it is very interesting. I can't wait to see. I know I said this about 100 times, but I really cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. If you guys are actually in the Project Spark beta and you have designed a level, message us at the YouTube channel. I think if you go into our about, go to our channel itself and then click about or something, you should be able to obviously to message us. Message us and let us know. We'll have a wee conversation and we'll go in and maybe even film playing the level with you and stuff like that there. That would be interesting and fun to do, I think. But like I said, guys, definitely I recommend right now I recommend getting into the beta at least now, especially since it's free. If you can if you go Google Project Spark beta, you'll definitely find it out. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, especially if you lasted the whole 31 minutes or 32 minutes, whatever. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Love you all.